Welcome back to Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara. And Tara is on the move right now. She's actually moving to a new apartment, so she won't be here with us today. But today's episode is one that has been sitting on my heart for a little while, and it's called Your Health is Your Wealth. We hear that phrase all the time, don't we? Health is wealth. It almost sounds like one of those sayings we hear so often that we stop really listening to it. We nod our heads, we agree with it, and move on with our busy lives until something happens. Until life gently, or sometimes not so gently, reminds us that nothing is more valuable than waking up each morning feeling healthy, strong, and more importantly, at peace. Recently, I experienced a health scare. I'm not going to spend this episode talking about the specifics because it's not taken care of yet, and I am working on it. The point is that something didn't feel right. My body was trying to tell me something, and instead of brushing it off or convincing myself it would just go away, I kept asking questions. I stayed persistent. I listened to my instincts, and I advocated for myself. Eventually, I got the answers I was looking for, and now I'm working on getting everything taken care of. And I feel incredibly thankful, not only for the medical professional who helped me, but also because I trusted myself enough to keep searching for answers. So this recent experience has reminded me of something I think we all need to hear much more often than we do. You know your body. You live in it every single day. If something feels different, pay attention. You're not being dramatic. You're not being difficult. You're not wasting anyone's time by asking questions. Your health deserves your attention. It deserves your voice. And most importantly, it deserves your love. So this brings me to today's conversation. When I say your health is your wealth, I'm not talking about doctor's appointments or exercise or eating vegetables. I'm talking about your whole self. I'm talking about your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and yes, your peace. Because they're all connected. When one part of us suffers, eventually the rest of us feels it too. Have you ever noticed that when you're carrying a lot of stress, your body starts acting differently? Maybe you don't sleep well. Maybe you're exhausted all the time. Your bathroom habits change. Maybe your shoulders stay tight. Your stomach hurts. You feel anxious for no obvious reasons. And you catch every little cold that comes around. Our bodies are incredibly wise. Sometimes they whisper. Sometimes they wave little flags. And if we ignore those long enough, eventually they get louder. One thing this recent experience reminded me of is that my body has always been trying to take care of me. It wasn't working against me. My body was trying to get my attention. And I think sometimes we forget that. We get frustrated with our bodies. We criticize them. We wish they looked different. We compare our bodies to everyone else's instead of thanking our body. Think about everything your body has done for you. It has carried you through every difficult situation, every celebration, every loss, every ordinary Taco Tuesday, every laugh that made your stomach hurt, every hug, tear, dream. It deserves kindness. It deserves patience. It deserves care. The same goes for our minds. Mental health isn't something we should only think when life falls apart. Mental health is something we care for every single day. I would know very well because I've always struggled with anxiety, and as I get closer to 40, it seems to be getting worse, not better. Mental health is just like brushing our teeth. It's just like drinking water, just like getting enough sleep. Sometimes taking care of your mental health looks like going for a walk. Sometimes it looks like talking with someone you trust. Sometimes it means seeing a therapist. And it can also mean turning off your phone for an hour or a day or 2 days, which I recommend. And there's one that many of us struggle with. Sometimes taking care of your mental health means setting boundaries. We've talked about boundaries a lot on this podcast. Can we talk about boundaries again for a minute? Because I think boundaries have gotten a bad reputation. People hear the word boundary and think it means you're being selfish or punishing people away. I don't believe that at all. I think boundaries are one of the greatest acts of self-respect. Let me repeat that. I think boundaries are one of the greatest acts of self-respect. They're also one of the healthiest gifts we can give the people we love. Here's why. So many of us spend our days carrying things that don't belong to us. Someone else's stress, someone else's bad mood, someone else's financial problems, someone else's family drama, someone else's choices. We love people, so naturally we want to help them. There's nothing wrong with that. Helping people is beautiful. I know, I've done it. I'm still doing it. Being compassionate is beautiful. Listening is beautiful. But there comes a point where compassion quietly turns into caring, and carrying everyone else's problems eventually becomes heavy. Really, really, really heavy. 3 reallys. I had to remind myself recently that I can love someone without trying to fix everything for them. I can support someone without taking responsibility for their happiness. I can care deeply without sacrificing my own peace. That's a lesson I'm still learning. Maybe you are too. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every emergency belongs to you. Not every phone call requires an immediate answer. Not every situation deserves your emotional energy. Sometimes the healthiest sentence you can say is simply, I love you, but I can't carry this for you. Or I need some quiet time today. Or I'm taking care of myself today. Those aren't selfish words. They're healthy words, loving words. Because here's the truth. If you're constantly running on empty, eventually there's nothing left to give. Imagine your phone sitting at 1% battery. You wouldn't expect it to run all day, would you? So why do we expect ourselves to? We push, hustle, people please, overcommit, apologize for resting, wear exhaustion like it's some kind of accomplishment. And somewhere along the way, we've confused being busy with being healthy. And my kids are in now, and I'm doing a podcast. That's boundary right there. They're not the same thing. Being busy doesn't automatically mean you're living well. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is slow down. Slow down. Take the walk, drink the water, go to bed earlier, read the book, sit outside, laugh with your friends, play with your kids, pray, meditate, breathe. Life doesn't always have to be rushed. One thing I've been asking myself lately is this: what would loving myself actually look like today? Not tomorrow, not next month, today. Today it means eating something nourishing. It means finally making that appointment I've been avoiding. Maybe today means saying no without feeling guilty. Maybe it means forgiving myself for something I've carried for years. Maybe today means resting. Real self-love isn't always glamorous. It's not always bubble baths and candles. Sometimes self-love looks like hard conversations. Sometimes it looks like discipline. Sometimes it looks like choosing vegetables instead of junk food. Working on that personally. Sometimes it looks like getting up and moving your body, even when you don't feel like it. Sometimes it looks like turning off the news. It can look like deleting negativity from your social media. And sometimes self-care is asking for help. And can I tell you something? Which I will. Asking for help is not weakness. I am seeing a therapist Thursday. I'm very proud about it. Super excited to meet someone here in Estonia. And I am proud of myself to make sure that I'm fully healthy and healed individual. Asking for help is not weakness. It's wisdom. We were never meant to carry everything alone. I also want to encourage you today. Please trust yourself. If you feel that something is off physically, pay attention. If something is off mentally, pay attention. Your intuition is there for a reason. That doesn't mean every ache is something serious. It simply means you deserve to listen to yourself instead of ignoring yourself. I'm grateful I kept asking questions. I kept on going back to my doctor for something that was not healing. I'm grateful I kept asking those questions. I'm very grateful that I stayed persistent. And if hearing my story encourages every one person, once I come up with my story and I actually get the situation taken care of, if it encourages even one person to make that appointment they've been pushing off or to advocate for themselves when something doesn't feel right, then sharing this today was totally worth it. Before we finish, I want you to hear this. You matter, not because of your productivity, not because of your career, not because of how much you do for everyone else, not because of how many people need you. You matter simply because you are you. Your body deserves kindness. Your mind deserves rest. Your heart deserves peace. And your soul deserves joy. So this week, I hope you'll do one thing for yourself. Just one. Take the walk, drink the water, schedule the appointment, go to bed earlier, say no when you need to, let someone else solve their own problems for once. Protect your peace without apologizing for it. Give yourself grace. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love, because you deserve that same kindness. Life is precious. We don't always get to choose what happens to us, but we get to choose how we care for ourselves. And I want to choose better. Not perfect, just intentional. One healthy decision at a time. One loving, healthy decision at a time. One boundary at a time, and one deep breath at a time. Boy, have I really realized the power of breath lately. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Since Tara is not here, we're gonna cut the conversation a little shorter. And I want you to enjoy being alive and living every day, like if you can, like it's your last. You know, money is amazing, but money is not everything, especially if you don't have your health. So take care of yourself. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to our channel. There's plenty more podcasts coming up every Thursday, Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara. You can also find us on Instagram for important updates. And I hope this episode reminded you that taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's one of the most loving things you can do. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, protect your peace, and love the people well, but don't carry what isn't yours to carry. Always advocate for yourself and never forget, your health is your wealth. Until next time, everybody, be kind to yourself, be gentle with your heart, and remember that you are worthy of the same love and care that you so freely give to everyone else. Take good care of yourself, and remember, you're always, 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 always on our hearts. And if you need anything, you can always catch us here or follow us on Instagram. Conversations Worth Having with Kai and Tara. I hope you have a beautiful day.